tutorial to help you get started using Microsoft Forms in your classroom. To begin, let's find where the Forms is stored. So I'm on my hub page, hub.detroitk12.org, and you'll see up in the upper corner my waffle. If you, for whatever reason, don't see your waffle, you can hit your settings and go to site contents and it'll show up. Once you click the waffle, it's going to show you the apps you use the most. If you don't see Forms pop up at the top because you haven't used it in a while, just go ahead and type in Forms and it'll pop up. Since I was just using this earlier today, mine was right at the top. When you come into your Forms, it's going to give you a list of all of the ones that you've created and stored. There is a limit of 250 forms, but that takes a while to reach, so I wouldn't even worry too much about that. Let me just show you a form or two that I already have to give you some ideas, and then I'll show you how to create a form or a quiz. So let's take a look at this grade check-in form. As an exit ticket in my class, I went ahead and asked students, have you been able to check your PowerSchool? What grade are you at right now? Are you happy with that? Do you want to set up some time with myself and another teacher to get help? And so you can see in preview mode, this is how my students saw this. And when I submitted it to them in class as a link, I had 32 students respond to this quiz. And I can come in here and quickly see how many students were checking PowerSchool, where their grades were at, and then whether or not they sought extra help. If I want to see specific students' answers, like maybe I want to know what one specific student responded, then I can click on this drop down, look for that student's name. They just go in order of the time when they were received, so earliest to latest. So you just have to find your students and click on that. And it'll give you their results. And then finally, you can always download, if you have a lot of data and you want to look at in a bigger list, you can download it to Excel and search it that way. So once you've kind of seen what you can do with how you look at it, let's actually see how to create one. In the upper corner, you're going to see that there's two options for you using the drop down. The default is quiz, or you can use a form. The advantage of using a quiz is that you have the ability to show that you've graded it or have it auto grade and have points, and it will also give the students a chance to see some feedback. So let's just say, like, they can see their results. Let's just say I want to do an exit ticket for Monday. I can type that in my title block and just say, answer the questions below. That would be my description. You can go ahead and pick a theme if you'd like. There's a few in here. You can just change the color. They have some cool backgrounds, or if you really want to get fancy like I did with a grade site, you can try and search for different pictures that might be in line with what you're studying. I'll just type in quadratic and see what comes up. Sometimes pictures work and sometimes they don't. Let's just try this one and see if it pops in. So it may be hard to see what's going on with that, but if you like it, you just keep it and you go back and you can add some questions. So there's many different question types. Two of the most popular are multiple choice or fill in the blank. Let's do a multiple choice one because we love to see how it's going to grade. So let's just put in, what is the solution to 2x plus 5 equals 17. You can then fill in some suggested answers for it. And then if it's multiple choice, it gives you the option of marking which one is correct so that it can auto grade. And you can also tell students, like if you put a big detractor in there, you can say to them, oops, that's not it. Or whatever you would like to say. So that's what that bubble means. You can tell it how many points each question is worth, and then move on and let's try another question. So let's try a fill in the blank. Let's do one. Let's see, I've been studying quadratics. This is quadratic, so let's say, what is vocabulary word that describes the shape of a quadratic graph? this one's fill in the blank. It will still auto grade if you give it a answer. It doesn't, as I recall, it's not capital specific, so if you just type it in spelled correctly, if there's a common misspelling that you want to still say is okay, you can also add that, and it will auto grade that as correct. If it doesn't auto grade it as correct because it was misspelled, you can always go back in and add those points in later. And then let's try one more where I'll show you how you can add a picture. So let's say we wanted to say, what is shown in this graph? So what transformation is shown in this graph? You can take pictures again from the website, or if you have your own, like if you've created one in Desmos, you can upload it. So let me find one. I just happen to have these saved already. I preloaded it to make this video hopefully a little bit shorter. So there it is. You can see, let's put some distractors in here. I don't know why, but I never make the right answer, the A. Reflection, rotation. And then mark the correct one. Once you've got what you want in here and you're ready to go, you can do a preview so you can see what students will see. And then when you're ready, you can do a share. The default for share that you probably want to use is only people in my organization can respond. And if it doesn't say that, if it comes up, anyone can respond, you want to change it to that. The benefit of using that is that it will definitely ensure students are logged in and that it will capture their name so that you can see who did it. And then you'll just go ahead and hit copy. And you can drop it into your Teams link, into your chat, paste it in there, and it will show up for students when they click on that link like this. Just to show you how it auto grades, let's go through here. I'll get 2 out of 3 right, just so you can see. And you can see thanks for response. The student will then be able to hit view results. You can see I got 10 out of 15 right. I got this one right, I got that one right, but I got that one wrong. And you can also look at that same information that we looked at ahead of time. So all useful information for how you would do that. If you're trying to do quick polling as opposed to just give a form, you can do that right from your Teams. If you're using channels in your classroom, you might notice that when you're in your channel line here, that you have a little form button at the bottom where you can pop up, ask a quick poll question, and then save and send it out. If you are not using that, if you're using a standard invite, you can add in to your classroom the forms link right from your calendar. I'll do a quick, hopefully show you of that before I get bumped out of here. My first hour uses this because this class is set up as just a meeting. And you can see in here, I have gone ahead and added polls. So I went in, typed in forms and added it. And that lets me, when I click on it, I've done a few live polls directly in class. It shows up at the top of your window. You can drop in some stuff. So like, for example, today I asked them, would you rather have a short project and only get a week or have a longer project and get 2 weeks? And it'll pop in there when you hit the poll button at the top of your window. I know I went through some of this very quickly. It's to kind of get you started. Please feel free to ask more questions as you learn more about it. One other quick thing I'll say is let's use each other. There's a collaborate tab now. So for example, if you say, man, I really like that poll, or I want to share that with you, I can do a share as a template. So I can duplicate it, copy it, and send it off to you where it'll ask you to make your own copy for your own class. Or if you're sharing with another teacher where you want to keep the same data, maybe you want your ESE teacher or some other teacher that works with you to see it, you can hit collaborate, and that way whoever responds to it, they can see the same teacher view you can. So that's a newer feature that I really enjoy sharing with my co-teacher in my classroom. So good luck with Microsoft Forms. I hope you find a great use for them in your class to keep students engaged and collect data.